Hey, brothers and sisters. Today is March 29th, 2022. Just wanted to share some stuff with you guys. So, several years ago, when I kind of first started my channel, I was sharing a dream that I'd had about being on a cruise ship with the dead in Christ. And I was on the top of the ship, just kind of observing things in the spirit. And I saw my parents and my brother, who are all in Christ, and my sister-in-law Julie, who was the dead in Christ, and they were all like toasting these drinks and celebrating, like they were reunited and just celebrating. And then I saw on a queen-size bed on the top of the ship, not far from them, my godmother April, who's the dead in Christ. And she was just laying peacefully on this bed and smiling and looking off the side of the ship. And her name is April. And she died on Israel's birthday on May 14th of 2015. And she was born on April 16th. So after I uploaded that video, I started getting some comments, and I went to look, and at the very beginning of the video, this little boy right here was in the video. And I have no idea how that's happened. I've never seen anything like that happen on any videos I've ever watched. And I have the screenshot. I don't know if you could see at the bottom here. It says cruise ship with, you could see the title of the video. And 3 days later, this little boy just vanished off the video. So it was like a supernatural thing that happened. And like I said, I've never seen anything like that happen in a video before. And then 3 days later, he just vanished off the video. So I've always felt like that dream was important, because all this little boy showed up in the video of the dream. So then last week, I was sitting on my back porch, and I was really just frustrated because my son's suffering so much. And I was just talking to God and crying on the back porch one night. And I just said, Jesus, please come heal my son. And then I said, is the rapture ever going to happen? And I was just frustrated, which I know it will, but I was just frustrated and just voicing it to the Lord. So I went to sleep that night, and I had this dream. And in the dream, there was a man that I couldn't see, and he was just talking to me about first fruits. And then I heard him say, omer count, omer count, omer count. And I couldn't even remember what an omer count was, so the next day I had to look it up. And I guess the counting of the omer in 2022 begins on the evening of April 16th, which is my godmother April's birthday. And it ends on the evening of Saturday, June 4th. And I'm really not trying to date set, but I'm just supposed to share all this. So then last night, I had a dream, and Brother Todd and I were working somewhere in this really big warehouse, and then we were about to give out all of these flowers to people. And Todd told me that it was some kind of Irish flower, and it looked like a calla lily. And then I saw a map of every place that I had given someone a flower, and it looked like 3 countries, and parts of them were lit up in yellow, showing where all the flowers I had given to people were. And then someone said, "That's impressive." I was shocked that I had given flowers to so many people. And then I saw these old Band-Aids stuck to the floor, and I peeled them off the floor and threw them away. So this picture here is of a bride holding calla lilies. Some of the traditions associated with the calla lily is you have likely spotted classic white calla lilies at a wedding, and that's because they are traditional symbols of divinity, marital bliss, and true devotion. More specifically, the calla lily marks the 6th wedding anniversary. The calla lily plays a role in the Christian Easter service as a symbol of Jesus' resurrection. And Brother Todd in the dream said it was an Irish flower. So I just looked up Irish calla lily because I knew in the dream that it looked like a calla lily. So this came up. Arum lily, Ireland, the Easter lily, Irish, is a badge in the shape of a calla lily flower worn during Easter by Irish Republicans as a symbol of remembrance for Irish Republican combatants who died during or were executed after the 1916 Easter Rising. And lilies in the Bible represent rebirth and hope. Ireland is well known across the world for its luscious rolling green fields, mossy glens, and heathery hills. It is widely associated with several flora, including shamrock, lilies, and daffodils. And Sister Carrie Christ follower had a dream about shamrocks a while back. So, also, years ago, I also showed this other dream that I'd had. And in the dream, I was in this white building. It was like this old Romanesque type building, and it didn't have windows. It was just these big openings in the side of the buildings, and there were these white pillars going around the building. And I was inside, and I saw all these people dressed up really fancy, and they were really excited and talking to each other really fast. They were so excited. And I knew that somebody very important was about to come into the room. And they were all holding this clear glass in their hand. It looked like water was in it. And in everyone's drink, there was one grape. And then I looked at one of the pillars in the openings of the side of the building, and I was just fascinated because there were grapes and grapevines growing up these pillars. So I went over to them, and I picked one grape off of this grapevine, and I opened it in my hand and pulled out 3 seeds. And then I leaned out this opening of the side of the building, and I went to toss them each onto the ground, and I knew that as soon as they landed on the ground that they would instantly grow into grapevines. And the other night, before I went to sleep, I was asking the Lord to clarify what I heard in that dream the other night about first fruits and omer count. like, what was he saying? And I had a dream that night of a wooden table, and I was placing different items of food on this table. And one of the things I placed on the table were grapes, and I knew that they were homegrown grapes. So I know this is kind of like a weird video. It's like a bunch of different weird things in it, but just felt really led to share all this stuff. I don't know exactly when Jesus is coming, but I really believe it's very soon. All I know is that he's going to come just in time. I love you guys. Hold fast.